Okay, to create titles in Photoshop, you can make our titles in Photoshop and bring them in. So we want a new document. We want it to be film and video, HDV, HDTV, 720, 29.7, that's fine. But let's change the background contents and turn it transparent. Okay. So here it is, and I've got my guides turned on so you can see where the title safe area is inside of the blue guides. Now we want to save this as under. So let's try UNDER, and we want to make sure it goes to the folder where we are going to be doing this. I'm going to go to my tutorials, and I'm going to save it into layered PSD AI. It's a PSD file under. Save. Now, that's fine. We want to select the text tool. We want to choose Helvetica Neue. We want it to be bold. And we want it to be 90 point. You'll have to type that in because it only goes up to 72, so I've already typed in 90 here. And let's choose a good dark color. And since we know we're going to be using the pictures of the sea, let's try a burnt orange. That'll really contrast nicely with the blues in the sea. So let's get a nice bright burnt orange. Doesn't matter if it's outside of the gamut for the print because we're not going to print it. And just choose that color and type in, click for an insertion point, type under the sea. Okay. And now we want to select our selection move tool, and we want to have our transform controls on. And then we want to select all, so Command A. And now you get these controls at the top in the options bar, and you can center it vertically and center it horizontally. Align vertical centers, align horizontal centers, so you get it right in the middle. And now we're going to File, Save again. And now we can go ahead and close it. So we will File, Close, and quit Photoshop. So here's my tutorials. I'm going to right click and I'm going to import a file, and I'm going to go to the folder where I put that. There it is. Well, first I want to import it as composition, retain layer sizes, and then open it. Composition, retain layer sizes. Editable layer styles, and say OK. Now I want to double click this to open it in the timeline. There it is. Now I'm going to click on the layer name, right click, convert to editable text. And now it is text. The T appears next to it. Now you can do anything to it that you can do to any text. Now I've got this text, I want to have a background, so I'm going to take Layer, New, Solid, and I'm going to choose a color that seems to me to be kind of ultramarine, sort of a deep blue, some color that will go with our general blue theme, and say OK. And now I'm going to put that behind. So there it is, under the sea, and now I'm going to select my text layer. And while this text layer is selected, we're going to go to Animation, Browse Presets. It'll take a moment because it has to open up Bridge. Now go to the folder that's called Text, double click, and there's a whole bunch of different types of animations they've got in here. You should look at all of these when you have time. We want to use one in blurs right now, so I'm going to open blurs, and we're going to use the evaporate. Now to see what that does, it gives you a little bit of a preview, but if you want to see how it actually works, if you click on it, in the preview window it will actually open up a preview using the word evaporate, and you'll see how it works. So that's going to work very well for what I'm thinking, and when you double click on this, it's going to open it, it's going to apply it, and you're going to find that it's done everything it needs to your text. So now just double click, goes back into your animation. Now deselect all the layers and press U. It'll show you where your keyframes are. For any layer that has keyframes, for any type of transform, it will put them right there so you can see them. It'll just open those particular lines that have a keyframe. None of the other ones, no other layer will open up, no other range, no other transform, just the ones that are keyframed. So that's the power of using some of these preset keystrokes. So U will bring up any existing keyframes. Okay, now let's preview it. And you see it evaporates out. Now I want it to evaporate in, so I'm going to stop it. I'm going to select the first keyframe and shift select the second one. I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose Keyframe Assistant, Time Reverse Keyframes. I'm going to press the RAM preview again, and now it evaporates in. Very slowly though. So now I think I'm going to deselect the keyframes. Now I'm going to move this keyframe closer to that one. I'm going to duplicate this keyframe. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to Command C. I'm going to come further down here, and I'm going to Command V to place that, and then I'm going to come over here and copy this one, put my CTI at the end, and then paste it there. So now it's going to evaporate in and then evaporate out. So I think that will be a very nice effect. Okay, that works nicely. I'm going to move these out a little bit. I think that's a good effect. I like that. So let's Command Save. So that is adding the Photoshop titles.